In November 2000, the Loire Valley joined one of the world's most impenetrable clubs, that of mankind's heritage. The 280-kilometre stretch from Sully-sur-Loire in the Loire to Châlons in the Maine-et-Loire is now one of the world's heritage sites. Crossing the two regions of Centre and Pays de la Loire and the four departments of the Loiret, Loire-et-Cher, Indre-et-Loire, Maine-et-Loire, this site has been designated by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, a cultural symbol of the rich relationship between man and the environment, which has been nurtured throughout the region's long economic and social history. Full steam ahead on the water, boarding immediately. Sully in the Loire, the fortress that guards the gateway to the valley of the Loire. Military art, religious art, Saint-Benoît is one of the jewels in the crown of Romanesque art, the Loire of books, melting pot of culture, source of inspiration. Rabelais, Ronsard, Max Jacob, Turner have all dipped their pens and brushes into its waters. Maurice Genevoix had a window on the Loire. Picturesque en bleu, just a few strokes of the paddle from Orléans, where the canal meets the Loire. Orléans, the city of Joan of Arc. The Loire in flower, the Loire alive. Today, Orléans claims to be the capital of the environment and projects a bridge towards the future. Several orchards away is Beaugency, the medieval Loire. Its bridge is the oldest one which crosses the Loire. The Loire of lights, Saint-Dié-sur-Loire, used to be the port for Chambord. Exceptional wildlife thrives on the sandbanks and the ephemeral islands. Returning in 1974, the beaver, diver and builder has set to work here again. In Chambord, where the Renaissance has pushed mad creativity to its limits, 440 rooms, 800 columns, 365 chimneys, bells and bell turrets. Blois, the Loire dedicated to the relaxation and pleasure of the kings. Coronations, massacres, intrigues and treason. The history of the Loire Valley blends with that of France itself. Chaumont-sur-Loire, the Garden of France, well deserved its own conservatory and a festival of futuristic gardens. Amboise, from Charles VII to François I, they all stayed here. At the Clos Lucé, Leonardo da Vinci proved that his talent was not only a smile left on the face of humanity. A town on the water, at the crossroads of the Loire and the Cher, Tours has known how to marry its rich historical past with treasures and futurist works of art. Tours the Nightbird also revels in a festive atmosphere. Villandry, inspired by his generous nature, allowed man to cultivate his garden there. The harmony between the lacework of plant life and the stone is of pure genius, in the French way. A kitchen garden, yes, but only to be eaten with the eyes. Downstream from the bridge of Langeais, Brayamont is witness to the once prosperous business of hemp growing on the banks of the Loire. From monuments to museums, the valley of the Loire gives its visitors much to see, sometimes at night with Les Imaginaires of Azay-le-Rideau, and sometimes with beautiful chateaux of living the life of a lord. Barges of all descriptions for fishing and for transport. Up until the 19th century, the Loire was a well-travelled artery.
Non, il n'y a pas de marine dans tout le pays, assurément, qui vaille la marine de la Loire vraiment.
Chinon, blessed by the gods and by Bacchus, as were the other fertile wine-producing lands of the Loire. Chevenix, Touraine, Vouvray, Montlouis, Saint-Nicolas, Bourgogne. Ever since the time of Rabelais and Balzac, they had impeccable table manners in the Loire. In these lands of flavours and ancestral feasting, Fine palates are developed young, and Touraine has even devoted an institute to the pleasures of the table. A marriage of love between slate and chalk, Camp Saint-Martin, where the Vienne comes to mix its waters with those of the Loire. Fontainebleau, where Richard the Lionheart reposes in the nave of the abbey. Founded in the 12th century, this wonder of religious art marks the entry into the land of the Loire. In 1996, the regional natural park of Loire-Anjou-Touraine, which straddles the two regions, was born. This was to protect and promote the natural habitat, where troglodytes have sprung up in the chalky subsoil like mushrooms. Perched on a headland, the Château of Saumur has scarcely moved since the 14th century. Here, horses dance with their riders. This is home to the famous academy of the Cadre Noir. Lovebirds peck and kiss on the sandbanks, in public. Here still survive the miraculous catches of fishes and timeless games like boule with a local flavour. The houses of wine growers, architecture sometimes reminiscent of harbours with churches acting as lighthouses. The string of monuments which illustrate the ideas of the Renaissance and the Century of Lights, the harmony of the valley of the Loire, all add up to make the big picture. Angers on the edge of the Main, the softness of life. In Anjou as well, meetings and influences give rise to the feeling that there is a mingling of currents coming from all over Europe. Further on in Bouchemin, where the Main flows into the Loire. After the curves of Angers, in Chalon-sur-Loire, the Loire is at its ease and continues on its way, a long tranquil river flowing down to the Atlantic Ocean. The Loire Valley, a World Heritage Site for mankind, must now take on a new responsibility to conserve and promote its remarkable natural and cultural wealth. People of the Loire have taken to heart the importance of keeping alive this work of art of universal importance.